strange. It looks like no one's there, but the door's left open.
Empty. Everything is broken and turned upside down. A sculpted engraved stone. What happened here?
It seems like there was a fight. Everything is scattered around.
Someone went through this workshop like a tornado.
The owner must have left in a hurry, taking a few things and destroying the rest.
Unless someone else did this. We must find Karadeg.
Do you know where he might be?
This engraved stone bears the mark of Baraeg Nodas, Donkas's clan. Do you remember him? Karadeg originally belonged to this clan. He may have returned.
Let's go to Vigigador, and we'll find out.
Karans, I now understand why you were worried. That woman is a vicious viper. She sent us to recover her things, and now she's threatening us. But she's underestimating us, isn't she? Anything else?
The first time you saw me, did you really think I was a native?
Aside from the way you dress, you resemble a native. I have never seen an Onol Manawi amongst the Renaigse before. Is it so surprising that I made this mistake?
No, I understand. And I hope that this singular appearance makes me more attractive to you.
Perhaps if your difference wasn't merely physical, but your heart is evidently the heart of a Renaigse. Anything else?
I've never heard you talk about your father. Who was he?
He was the Donegad of our clan. He died many cycles ago, but this memory is still painful. So we usually avoid the subject.
What happened to him?
He was killed as he tried to escape the lions who wanted to capture him. My mother never really recovered from it. This is one of the reasons why she decided to go to war. Anything else?
I'm sorry about what happened to your mother. How are you feeling?
Unwell? I am angry, and I feel an immense void within me. I blame myself for not having been on this battlefield with her.
I understand. My mother had the Malachor. And yet I had to leave her behind as she was at death's door. I can't help thinking that I should have stayed by her side, just like you.
And you could not have done anything to save her, either. Thank you, Onol Manawi. Your words alleviate my sorrow. Anything else?
Do you have anyone, a friend perhaps, whom you can talk to in this trying time?
I usually confide in my sister, but she's suffering too. And I think she resents me for not having been there when our mother needed me.
Is there anybody else you feel close to?
I have some friends at the village, but they are not by my side at the moment. I wish they were. Anything else?
I've never heard you talk about your father. Who was he?
He was the Donegad of our clan. He died many cycles ago, but this memory is still painful. So we usually avoid the subject.
What happened to him?
He was killed as he tried to escape the lions who wanted to capture him. My mother never really recovered from it. This is one of the reasons why she decided to go to war. Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later.
What brings you here on Manawi?
We're looking for Karadeg, the Keeper of Promises.
Did he come back to your village?
He did come, and then he left. We could not take him back.
Do you know where he might have gone?
He feared someone or something, and he wanted to hide. He must have left for the woods, south of here. He knows the area well.
Did you exile him? Why?
He is the one who left. He disagreed with our stance on the Renaigse. He thought that we should be fighting them, throwing them back to the sea. This is why he joined the Gaesrad. And I did not want him to return if it meant that he would bring his hatred with him. Is there anything else?
I must leave. Goodbye, Dunkus.
Qua awalum say.
It is Karadeg. He's over there.
Signora, Bertir Tumad Donegad. What are you doing with these strangers?
These strangers are my friends, Karadeg. You can speak in front of them without fear.
What do you want?
Tell me about your role as Keeper of Promises. What does it consist of?
Most words must be free and able to fly like birdsong. But some words must survive those who utter them. So they call on the Keepers of Promises. Those who want to become one must win the trust of the Donegada and prove their wisdom. Then they teach us the words of stone. And when someone wants to seal a promise, We offer them those words.
So you're a kind of cleric? Thank you, Karadeg.
Do you want to know anything else?
We would like to ask you about a stone you supposedly engraved.
It is the stone of the Renaigse, isn't it? I should never have accepted to seal such a promise. I did not like them, but I could not refuse to fulfill my duty. Not when Bladnid was demanding it. And now that she is no longer with us, these Monasinaiga are chasing me.
It is because you are the last person to know what was engraved on it. The stone has been destroyed.
I kept the piece of tree bark in which I prepared the glyphs. All the details are there.
With this tree bark, we could verify what my mother promised. Can you give it to us?
No, Donegad. I do not mean to disrespect you, but I will not. The Renaigse only bring us trouble, and you come with them. They will disappoint you just like they disappointed your mother. I do not want to deal with them ever again. They threaten my life, and because of them, I am forced to hide here.
I understand your fear. Take some time to think. We'll come back later to see you.
What brings you here on Almanawi?
We found Karadeg. You were right. He was hiding in the woods.
I know him well. Like I know everyone in my clan.
His life is in danger. Some priests from Teleme are searching for him and they won't leave him in peace.
So they are the ones he fears.
Dunkas, you cannot let him fall into these priests' hands. He is one of us.
I know, but my role as a chief is to preserve the peace in this village. Being chased by the Renaigse probably only stirred up his anger. I do not wish to take the risk of him bringing it here.
You wish to create balance between your people and the Renaigse, don't you?
Indeed.
But how can there be balance if all those who oppose your vision are simply pushed aside?
Oi did not push him aside. He is the one who left and gave his support to the war he was dreaming of.
And yet, he kept the symbol of your clan with him. We found it in his house.
You are both right. Oi must be capable of maintaining peace, even with those who think differently. Tell him that he can come back.
Thank you, Dunkus.
Is there anything else?
I must leave. Goodbye, Dunkus.
Qua awalum seg.
Renaigse, you have returned.
We would like to talk once more about the glyphs on this stone.
I told you that I did not want to hear about this promise any longer.
You wanted to go back to your original clan, didn't you? You were hoping that Dunkus would welcome you. He is prepared to do so. He simply hopes that you will put aside the anger that is inside you.
When I left, I thought Donkus was too soft, too nice with the Renaigse. I was hoping to fight them with Bladnid. But in the end, she also chose to negotiate with them. So, I might as well go back home. Thank you for convincing him to take me back. Here, take this piece of tree bark. I hope that it will help you to chase these Renaigse away, Donegad. And I did not think I would say this one day. But thank you, Renaigse.
What do these glyphs say?
That we will assist the priests in their war against the lions, and they must help us in return. There is nothing about the spirits of the people of the village, or renouncing our traditions. I knew they were lying. Let's show this to Iseult. Siora, Asir. Always with your new friends. Bertir to Madiseld, I'm happy to see you. What do you want?
Azeld, about this pact your mother supposedly made with the priests.
Yes. Did you find anything new?
We retrieved the piece of tree bark that Karadeg used as a model.
Siora, what's written on it? Mother promised to help them against the lions, and they promised to help us in return. There's nothing mentioned about them settling here. And even less about them being entitled to the spirits of the people of our village. So they lied. They mocked us and insulted the memory of our mother. I think it's high time they left. Don't you agree? I think so too. Come on, let's go. You lied to us. You took us for gullible children. Leave this village at once. You will never be welcome here again.
But if you want our help with the Alliance, your people must convert to the light.
By lying, you have insulted the memory of the Queen. The entire village will be happy to make you pay for your affront if they hear about it. You do well to leave before having to face their wrath.
We are not here to shed blood.
Very well, we're leaving. But we will not forget your role in this matter, Your Excellency.
I did not think they would leave of their own accord. Thank you, Onol Manawi. Thanks to you, we managed to chase away these lawyers. And we will be able to perform our rituals and give our mother back to the earth. Yes. Thank you. Our village is in your debt. Siora, I will need you for the ritual. Will you help me? Of course, Asir. Karans, do you need something?
How did you know that those missionaries were lying? After all, given the situation, your mother could have wanted to form an alliance.
I knew my mother well. We were close. She would never have renounced her beliefs to forge an alliance.
I think I understand. Your island, your culture, and your faith are so closely tied that you cannot renounce one without renouncing the others.
Exactly. The Earth talks to us because we believe in it, in its spirits. Without these beliefs, we would be but empty shells. Our mother would never have wanted that for us. I am happy to see that you understand us so well. Anything else?
Why are you and your sister so different?
If you're talking about physical differences, they're linked to the fact that Iseld is not Onol Manawi. When we were little, we were perfectly identical. But our tempers were always different.
I have no trouble believing it. And I'm glad that out of the two sisters, it's the gentler one who is by my side now.
Gentler? Really? The lion soldier on the battlefield would not have agreed. Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later.
Sorry, this is private property. I cannot allow you to enter.
Actually, no one should be able to enter. This mine is doomed. It's terribly dangerous.
I wouldn't know. Our employer, Mr. Maillard, is the owner. He's got all the deeds required. Listen, you should go to the authorities. They can confirm all the paperwork.
I definitely will.
This makes no sense. Why resume the exploitation of a dangerous mine? Do they want their men to die?
These Renaigse must not have taken us seriously. We should take a closer look.
We should take the path that overlooks the outer wall. We should be able to see inside from there.
Look, they freed access to the mine.
Monisinaga. They use captives from the villages to dig their mine.
They've made them into slaves. We must talk to Sieur de Courcillon. I hope that our nation is not involved in this business.
Desade, you seem somewhat gloomy. What's troubling you?
As you may have heard, the de Vespe family has sent a delegation to the island. It's led by the prince's daughter herself.
Ah, most curious. And very worrying indeed. But you didn't come all this way in person just to bring me the bad news, I take it?
You read my mind. Knowledge is power. I need all the information you've got. The mission you entrusted me with has made great progress.
Very well. Let's see. Good. You have traveled great distances, and the Terra Incognita will soon be but a distant memory. Keep doing what you're doing, Desade. Can your old professor still prove himself useful?
I've come to ask you about a mine near Vigigador. It was closed for a long time for security reasons, but someone has started exploiting it again.
I seem to recall that a concession in this area was sold to a Master Maillard. However, I do not recall the details of the contract. It was established by the previous government. He is a rich merchant from Serene who arrived on the island only a short while before we did. People say that he is unscrupulous.
Unscrupulous? That's an understatement. This man had some natives captured and he's using them as slaves to work in this mine.
What? Does this old brigand really think that he is above the law? We cannot tolerate such methods, but we must determine the best way to attack him. You should start by finding the deed to his property in the archives. Don't worry, we'll not let this man's behavior go unpunished. Can your old professor still prove himself useful?
I found no traces of Professor Seraphedin yet.
That's most regrettable. But keep looking for him, will you? You never know. Can your old professor still prove himself useful?
Do you have any news from my uncle?
Don't forget how long it took us to reach this shore. I don't think we'll receive any mail from the prince for some weeks. But I am certain that he would be very satisfied with your work here. Just like I am.
What do you know about Lady Morange?
Laurine de Morange is a brilliant woman. The work that she has accomplished here is remarkable.
In that case, why did the prince strip her of her governor status?
For political reasons, obviously. Allowing someone so brilliant to govern a distant city for too long is not without risks. She may eventually have whims of independence. What's more, the prince was looking for a position where your cousin could learn his responsibilities. This governor position seemed ideal.
I must be on my way. Goodbye, Professor.
Goodbye. And tread carefully.
Desade, I would like to go to Kurganau, the place of ritual, to study the carvings and offerings there. But they call it a dangerous place and I cannot go alone. Will you accompany me?
Sorry, I'm already very busy at the moment.
I understand. But think about it. Anything else?
Where do you come from, Afra?
From Alima near Al-Sad. It is but a small town, but there is a particularly renowned observatory there. My parents wanted me to become an astronomer, but I chose the Earth over the sky. I was always more intrigued by life rather than distant stars. Plants and animals fascinated me as a child. For this reason, I left Alima quite early to study in the capital, and I seldom returned.
When did you arrive on the island?
A little more than 2 years ago. My master, Dr. Vasily, suggested that I should follow him to Tirfredi. He needed help cataloguing all the unknown plants and animals. How could I decline such an offer? There's so much to discover here.
Do you miss the continent, your city, your family, perhaps?
No. When I arrived on this island, I immediately knew that it was where I was supposed to be.
Do you often hold strangers at gunpoint?
Only when I'm being tracked. What about you? Do you often track young ladies?
Only when they're attractive. Your charm guided us to you.
Really? And how would you have known how I looked? I did not expect you to be so inane, Desade. Anything else?
I must leave you.
It seems as though you can't decipher the glyphs of your own people's document.
I get lost in all the legal jargon. But they have Lady Moronge's seal on them. We should find her, to understand exactly what they say.
You're back. Do you have any news about Aurelia de Vespe and her entourage?
I need your advice once more. This time it's about the property deeds of a plot of land and of a mine acquired by a certain Maillard. Here are the deeds. I must admit that I understand very little of what's written, but your seal is on it.
Do not worry, this type of document is always difficult to decipher for the uninitiated. However, they are very clear. Master Maillard is the owner of a plot of land located near Vigyigador. He can exploit the forest and plant anything he wants there, but it says here that he does not have the right to exploit the mine. It's even repeated in this other paragraph. Any attempt at mining on this land is forbidden.
And yet the mine which was located on this plot of land has been reopened, and is being exploited as we speak.
According to these documents, the mine has been closed for security reasons. This man's behavior is reckless. You should go see him. He's presently in New Serene. He usually spends time at the port when he comes. He has some warehouses there.
closer, good people. The cure ain't right. Are your boots worn through? Is your hat out of style? Does your vest belong to last year's fashion?
Master Maillard.
Who's asking?
Desade. I am the legate of the congregation.
Well, I'm flattered. What brings you here, Your Excellency?
I'm here to talk to you about the mine you have near Vigigador. Are you aware that you have no right to operate it? Nor are you allowed to employ slaves there.
But what are you talking about? Surely this is a misunderstanding. Listen, I'm sure there is a way for us to get along. I'm an honest merchant. I've always paid all taxes, and the small bonuses needed. Please tell your cousin that I would be happy to send him the gift of his choice. Now, Your Excellency, if you will allow me, I have to get back to my activities.
I'm afraid you don't understand, Master. It's not a money problem. That mine is dangerous, and you endanger the congregation on this island by behaving this way with the natives.
Come on, don't be so serious, young man. I'm sure it's nothing that a small bonus can't fix. Goodbye, sir. Best wishes to your cousin. Come closer, good people. The cure ain't right.
So, you're back. How was your encounter with Lady de Vespe?
As expected, the situation is complicated. Apparently she came to marry my cousin. She sent me to recover the wedding contract, which had supposedly been stolen. It turned out that was a ruse to have me killed. Then, to keep me quiet, she resorted to blackmail. She claims to have gathered compromising information on me and Constantine, which she means to hand over to the governors if I don't do as she says.
Alas, this is exactly the kind of behavior that's to be expected from her. You should recover these documents before she hands them over to the governors and ruins your reputation. Make haste. The rest can probably wait. You're back. Any news?
I verified the contract with Lady Mirange. The exploitation of the mine is illegal, as we expected, without even taking into account what he's doing to the natives. I then went to meet Master Maillard.
So, what did he have to say in his defense?
He turned a deaf ear and tried to bribe me.
Oh, some of these merchants are so rich that they forget basic decency. But it's high time we reminded him of who is in charge of the congregation on this island. Here, this is an eviction notice which dispossesses him of all his land for breaching his contract. For his crimes against the natives, he's banished from this island. I will make him aware of this decision, but you should go to the mine immediately. The prisoners must be freed as soon as possible, and the mine closed once more.
I'll take care of it.
Can your old professor still prove himself useful?
I must be on my way. Goodbye, Professor.
Goodbye. And tread carefully.